Welcome everyone to It's Vinylly Mine's Vinyl Countdown, baby. Yes, we're counting down the last 12 days of the year with 12 vinyl record releases, and I've got one for you today that's a classic we've heard before, but not this specific version. Yes, we are looking at Star Trek, the motion pictures director's cut original motion picture score from the legendary Jerry Goldsmith. Yes, this is from Enjoy the Ride Records, ETR 142. And very excited to get up close and personal with this. I have a number of editions of this soundtrack, including one of the original pressings, which if you stick around, I'll bring out that one as well and show you a few things with that release. But as far as this one goes, yeah, they did do the director's cut a while ago. And, does it make the movie better? I don't know. I think in this case, the score is actually far better than the movie, although they do complement each other fairly well. So, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to listening to this and getting up close to this release that they did. So, enough of this talking. Let's get down to business, shall we? And so, here we are, the Star Trek Original Motion Picture Director's Edition, music composed and conducted by Jerry Goldsmith. Blade is here for us to open this wonderful gatefold edition of the soundtrack. And man, I've listened to the original soundtrack many times, the original release, the original tracks. So to get a chance to listen to it basically all over again, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. Oh man, look at this reflective cover that they have on here. Look at that. That just stands out. It's like, yeah, we are going flashy with it. Considering that the movie itself wasn't that flashy, I find that kind of interesting that here the record release of the soundtrack is flashy. But still, the wonderful image that we had from the movie poster, but updated a bit. Nice glossy finish here. Those colors stand out. Music composed and conducted by Jerry Goldsmith at the bottom in the reflective font. And yeah, very sharp, very beautiful cover there. And then the spine, you even got some coloring there going on. Reminds me of the old, when they say holographic imagery here. So yeah, we've got that multicolored reflective font there as well. And then on the back, it continues. This whole thing is just reflective and just showing off the colors for sure with our track listings, which is 2 vinyl records, side A, B, C, and D are track listings at the top there with Jerry Goldsmith credited, and the wonderful shot of the Enterprise from the motion picture, which I do enjoy the movie version of the Enterprise, especially the one presented in motion picture, and oh man, Star Trek 2, baby, yeah. And yeah, it just, I love this version of the Enterprise, and it's always gorgeous to see it in art like this. And then, oh, check out this gatefold. Oh man, that is slick. That is slick, man. Look at them colors. That is gorgeous. Wow. The Enterprise in warp drive. Oh man. So let's take a look at the vinyl record now we have here. This is the first one. It is a colored vinyl. So let's see this color, if it pops as much as the sleeve. Oh, absolutely. As the gatefold, check that out. Wonderful label on it. This is a sharp release. Oh, another gorgeous shot in dry dock of the Enterprise, side B. Yeah, this is gorgeous. They put the track listings of A and B on one side and then that art on the other. Kind of like what Mondo does a lot of times. And then here, for the other disc, we also have the insert. So we've got here the 1979 audio credits, and then we have the director's edition audio credits on here, and then the vinyl credits. So they're giving credit to everyone here. Here we go. Tracks 9 and 12 include a theme from Star Trek the TV series, Alexander Courage, woohoo, I love that theme as well. So all the music from Star Trek I pretty much really enjoy. And here is the orchestra that did the soundtrack to Star Trek, the original motion picture. Yeah, oh man. Excuse me, the motion picture. I keep saying the original motion picture, but that's the soundtrack. But it's the Star Trek, the motion picture. And then here we go, more pop and colors with this. Oh, and then here we have Spock and Kirk facing each other on side D. So that's an interesting choice that they went there. Maybe, you know, I would have expected maybe a Klingon ship or something, or maybe a picture of V'ger. Well, part of the V'ger, because you can't have the entire V'ger on there. You need a record really, really freaking long. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to listening to this. So we, as always, are going to take a short break here. And when we come back, we will let you know how this pressing sounds. And we're going to bring to you a bonus. We're going to cover really quick one of the releases I have of this soundtrack from the original pressing. So stay tuned.
Hey everyone, when you're done with the video here and liking and subscribing our channel, please head on over to Ted the Soundtrack Guy's YouTube channel. Not only does Ted share our passion for movie soundtracks, but he's an expert at breaking down the music and how it relates to the movie and more. You'll definitely want to check out his videos every Monday as he drops some knowledge on you involving scores, especially his favorite composer, Jerry Goldsmith. So head on over there at youtube.com/@TedTheSoundtrackGuy. Now back to our show.
And we are back from listening to this wonderful pressing of Star Trek, the motion picture, original motion picture score, the director's edition. Man, that's a mouthful, from Jerry Goldsmith. Man, this score is wonderful. This is one of Jerry's best scores, I will say. I know, Ted, the soundtrack guy may disagree with me, but I think this is one of his like almost Williams-esque scores. The instrumentation and everything that they use in here is just gorgeous. And this pressing sounds fantastic because this was actually restored, remixed, and mastered from the first generation multi-track masters. And you can tell, I heard some instruments I hadn't heard before on other releases. So yeah, this is fantastic. Now, if you're into soundtrack collection, La La Land did put out a 2 CD collection that pretty much has all the tracks on here, as well as some alternate tracks, I believe, in its release. But here on vinyl, I am so glad that I got this. And my favorite tracks, well, I mean, the Enterprise is still one of the all-time classic tracks. This wonderful, sweeping music, instruments, and the winds in that, just building up slowly to that reveal of the Enterprise, which hadn't been seen by most folks since the 66 TV show. So to have it revealed, you know, 13 years later or so, well, when the show canceled, so this would be more like 11 years later, you know, still, it hadn't been seen in a long time, and he does it so much justice. Goldsmith does so well in here. Leaving Dry Dock as well is a fantastic track, and those are my two favorite tracks, and those were on the original release. The overture is gorgeous, and the rest of this music is really good. My favorite new track that I hadn't heard before is the Captain's Log, Warp 1. I adored that track, and it took me right back to the film. Now, there are some quieter and slower tracks on here, if you've seen the film, that are fitting for the scenes they were in, but this music really helps you get through some of those slower moments in the movie because of the music that you have in here. And you have the blaster beam sound that they did for V'ger. It's an instrument, like an electronic string instrument that they used for it, that was specifically used for V'ger's sound in here. So Jerry Goldsmith showing again that he's not afraid to use electronic sounds in his orchestral scores, and that's evident here. Now, if you'll bear with me, I know we're going a little long, but I wanted to share with you a couple of the other items I have for versions of this soundtrack in my collection. One, I have the CD, obviously, and here we do have the 9 tracks that were on the original pressing of the vinyl, the picture of the crew, and here's the CD inside. They didn't put too much effort into it, but this was all we had to listen to, either the CD form, or what I also have is the vinyl form, the original 1979 pressing. of Star Trek the Motion Picture soundtrack from Jerry Goldsmith. This also only has 9 tracks on it, but as you can see from the hype sticker, there are a few more elements with this release that I ended up picking up. On the back, you do have that crew picture just like you had on the CD, though this picture is a little better than that one on the CD. It has at least a little bit more style to it. But on the inside, check this out. So on the inside, you have this sleeve here that has pictures from the production. I love when they do this. They did this, especially in the 70s. They did this quite a bit. And the fact that you get to see the costuming of some of the characters in here that you might not get to see so up close in the movie was great that they include that on the sleeve here. And also in here that I got is this 10.5 by 10.5 gorgeous shot of the lighted Enterprise. Look at that. Now this one actually came with this picture. There are some versions out there that from the 79 press release where they actually, you had to mail in for this. So I'm very fortunate because I don't think if I tried mailing it in, I would get it. But very fortunate that this version that I found also had that in there. So yeah, whether you have the original pressing or you have it on CD, you should pick up this version of the soundtrack to Star Trek the Motion Picture, the Director's Edition. It is gorgeous, it is crisp, it's like you're listening to it for the first time, and I really am happy to have this. So thank you so much for listening to me ramble, and appreciate you sticking around with this little bit longer episode. Yeah, like, subscribe, bells and whistles and all that here. I hope everyone has a great holiday. We're still in our vinyl countdown, so more great reviews to come. And yeah, Star Trek the Motion Picture, the Director's Edition, original motion picture score by Jerry Goldsmith on vinyl. It's vinylly mine, and I'll catch you on the flip side.